Good evening, this is BrassTacks. I'm Zaka Jacob. In the Mangaluru blast case, there is now the first CCTV footage of the bomber Mohammad Shareeq on his way on the morning of the bomb blast carrying a rucksack. There is also, according to the police, evidence that he changed his WhatsApp display picture to a Hindu god, and he was also part of some Hindu WhatsApp groups in a bid to mislead the investigators. But there has also been politics between the BJP and the Congress on what led to this attack. It started with an attack by Siddaramaiah, the former Chief Minister and Congress leader, saying that this was a massive intelligence failure. To which Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai responded by saying, it's not like there were no terror attacks when the Congress was in power. But first, the story of the day so far.
On the 19th of November, a blast in an auto-rickshaw in Mangaluru, orchestrated by this man. A lone wolf, self-radicalized by ISIS ideology, and a man with an agenda. He made a concerted effort to hide his true identity. He created a WhatsApp group with a picture of Adi Yogi as the chat group's display. In the name of Prem Raj, the man whose Aadhaar card he forged, all to mislead the investigating agencies. CNN News 18 is joining the dots to bring you a clear picture.
NIA too had raided multiple houses years ago as well. It was Matinta's house in 2020 that NIA raided, and he also has the bounty of rupees 3 lakh on him. But now Tirthahalli is under the scanner of the police.
A blast in Mangaluru has blown the lid of a larger conspiracy. This act of terror may have the stamp of a lone wolf attack, but Mohammad Shareeq's links with global terror groups are under investigation. We tried to track down Shareeq's place as well. This is the place where he stayed in Shivamoga.
There is no one who is residing at his house right now, but it's the father and the mother of the Matinta who is staying at the house, and right now they too are very sad and upset.
The investigation is gathering steam, and so is the politicking. Former Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah lambasted the state government for intelligence failure. Given that Mohammad Shareeq was arrested in 2020 under the UAPA, but somehow managed to slip under the radar of the agencies. But Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai declared that this is not the time for politics. He even reminded the Congress of such instances during Siddaramaiah's tenure as Chief Minister.
ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಣ್ಣವರು ಒಬ್ಬ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು, ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು. ಅವ್ರ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲೂ ಹಲವಾರು ಪ್ರಕರಣಗಳು ನಡೆದಿದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಕಾನೂನು ಸುವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ವಿಫಲ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ನಿಜವಾಗಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಅದು ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಪ್ರೇರಿತವಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಹೇಳಿಕೆ.
State agencies in tandem with the NIA are pursuing all leads. But with elections just around the corner in Karnataka, many are asking if politics is proceeding rogue into a terror act.
All right, we'll be joined by Ashok Gowda, Karnataka BJP leader, Sanket Yanagi's lawyer and KPCC spokesperson, Professor Brahma Chalani, strategic affairs expert, is joining us. SP Vaid, former DGP of Jammu and Kashmir, and Ratan Sharda, RSS researcher and author, joining us. Sanket Yanagi, what the Chief Minister said, you should have a uniform response, irrespective of political differences, to terror. Terror is terror. Whether you're BJP leaning or Congress leaning, you have to take on terror as a menace to society and not draw political color to it. So when Siddaramaiah says intelligence failure, it's not like there have not been intelligence failures or terror attacks when the Congress was in power.
Since the moment Mr. Bommai has come to power as the Chief Minister, there have been several incidents wherein the Hindu activists have been killed even. It could be a case at Shivamoga, or it could be a case at Mangaluru recently where the murders have taken place. In one or the other way, there are incidents of law and order failure. That being the case, in the light of all these factors, Mr. Siddaramaiah has made a very clear statement that there is an intelligence failure in the state and the Home Department is not functioning well. And the management and the administration by the Home Minister is too poor. When the rape has taken place during his tenure in Mysore, he, instead of investigating and seeing to it that it should not be repeated in the state of Karnataka, he has made a statement as if Congress is raping him. This is something unheard of, and so irresponsible statement by the Home Minister of the state. Home Minister of the state, in my opinion, has totally failed in administration of the department of which deals with the law and order in the state.
Okay,
so
Ashok Gowda is also joining us. The Congress's charge, you heard from Sanket Yanagi, Siddaramaiah also saying the same thing. that at the end of the day, the Home Minister has to, the buck has to stop with the Home Minister. In this case, it was sheer luck that this pressure cooker exploded while he was in an auto. If Shareeq had managed to get to a market or a railway station or a bus stand, many more people would have died. And the fact is that the Congress is also saying that it's not just, Islamist terror. Even your people are getting killed. Praveen Nataru got killed. There were people in Shivamogga who got killed. Ultimately, law and order is a state subject. It has to stop with the Home Minister. Ashok Gowda.
See, what has happened, Jacob? What has happened in the past few years because of the PFI and radical elements increasing because of the appeasement politics done by the Congress. And this is where the terror, instead of just limited to the groups, now has spread to the individuals also, what has happened in the Mangaluru case, or the kind of the system what has been inculcated over the period of years by Congress is the real purpose of increasing terror. See, Congress has practiced appeasement politics since 1947, and over the period, certain elements who are radicals who think that when the Congress comes to power, we will be safe. So when the BJP is in power, they will do certain activities which can disturb the social system in India. And at the same time, when the Congress comes to power, what happened during the Siddaramaia's tenure as a CM in 2016 and 17, where 330 and odd cases were withdrawn on PFI, and almost 1,600 and odd people who belong to PFI and STPI were let off. So
no, but Mr. Gowda, you promised when you did the hang on, when you did the PFI ban a few months ago, we were promised that this will put a huge dent on terrorist incidents in the state. But that is not the case. Again, I'm saying it is sheer luck that Mohammed Shareeq got killed inside an auto. He could have very well, had he reached the market, many more people would have died in Mangalore.
Agreed that PFI has been banned, and list of PFI people who were with PFI and registered members have been put under radar. But there are PFI sympathizers. And who are these sympathizers? The people who are in the fringe elements. They are the people who, now the people who are under the watchdog, they are encouraging these fringe elements to do these activities. And they also know that when the Congress comes to power, we will all be safe. So just don't worry. We are behind, and the Congress, we need to bring them to the power. That is why do all these things and blame the police and blame the Home Minister, blame the sitting government. Congress can get into the power. That is the ideology.
No, one second. I want to step aside from the politics for this for a second and talk about these lone wolf attacks. This is not the first time we've had a lone wolf attack. We had the Coimbatore blast that happened a few weeks before this. There have been a series of individuals, maybe one or at best two, operating in great discretion, who are inspired by these ISIS lone wolf attacks. It is physically not possible for the investigating agencies or intelligence agencies to keep track of each individual terror cells, as it were. How then can this problem be addressed?
Zaka, let's look at the Coimbatore and Mangalore blasts in a larger context. There is good news and there is bad news. The good news is that the incidence of terrorism in India has been on the decline. In fact, incidence of terrorism has sharply declined in recent years. Even the situation in Jammu and Kashmir is stable and under control. The bad news, and the bad news is really ominous in terms of India's long-term internal security. The bad news is that the jihadist forces are gaining strength, and they're gaining strength in far-flung states: Tamil Nadu, Kerala, coastal Karnataka, West Bengal, and Assam. These 5 regions have become hotbeds of ideological indoctrination. When the Sri Lankan Easter Sunday bombings happened, the investigations there revealed cross-strait links with Indian Islamists in Tamil Nadu and Kerala. The Indian intelligence forewarned Sri Lanka of the Easter Sunday bombings. Sri Lanka ignored the Indian warning and paid a heavy price. But India has been slow to act, to devise a concrete strategy to stem the spread of jihadist indoctrination which is leading to lone wolf attacks. And the only way you can actually stem the indoctrination of vulnerable youths is by controlling the infusion of petrodollars, by regulating the madrasas, as Singapore has done. In Singapore, it's compulsory for madrasas not only to teach Islamic studies, but to have a secular curriculum. They have to teach maths, science, geography, etc.
Okay.
It's not controversial in Singapore. We should think of concrete ways to rein in these jihadist forces. Indian Muslim culture traditionally has been liberal. The Arabization of Indian Islam through fanatical Wahhabism is misleading youths. It's creating this violent jihadism, and the government of India is too slow to act, too slow to devise a strategy. Think of Zakir Naik.
Yeah.
Only after Bangladesh demanded action against him in response to the Dhaka cafe attack did
Correct.
India begin considering some kind of action against Zakir Naik. By the time India got to consider action against him, he had already fled India.
Correct.
Now today, as you know, he's a guest of the Qatari government enjoying the FIFA World Cup. Yet his jihadist sermons have motivated, encouraged, emboldened jihadists in Sri Lanka, in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, in coastal Karnataka, and elsewhere.
Okay.
So we need to really think long term. We tend to politicize everything.
Let me ask SP Veds.
We see how we can derive political dividends from something.
One additional
we have to
complication.
think long term because this trend is
Sure.
ominous.
Let me ask Veds. One additional complication in the Shareeq case, in the Mangalore case, has been we know that he was living under a fake identity. He had used somebody else's identity card. He had used somebody else's Aadhaar card. So that was a complication for the cops. And secondly, we also now know, and the police are saying, that he had changed his display picture to that of a Hindu god. He had also joined some Hindu WhatsApp groups. Do you believe there is reason enough to think that this was deliberately done to mislead the investigators? And again, I come back to that question. It's not possible, as a policeman, you will vouch for this, that it's not possible to be putting under surveillance each and every individual. But surely questions can be asked as to why someone who was twice accused under UAPA was not under the radar of agencies and of the state police.
Zaka, as far as his using Lord Shiva's picture and then Hindu name, I think it is deliberate attempt. It's not by accident. It is deliberate attempt to hide his identity and mislead the investigating agencies or the police agencies. And also, it could be an attempt to generate a narrative of Hindu terror. Tomorrow, incident happens. If he was successful in causing huge casualties, as he intended to do, it would initially have gone as if the narrative would have been blame on the Hindu terrorist doing this. So this could be an attempt to camouflage the attack. That is one aspect I see into it.
Okay.
The other part of your question, lone wolf attacks have been, you have seen them in Europe, in West, in America, Germany, UK. It is very, very, in spite of all the advancements in the technology and the police forces of those countries, it is very, very difficult to stop. The international terror outfits and enemies of India, whether in our neighborhood or global terror outfits, are posing a huge threat to country like India.
Yeah.
With such a vast Muslim community, which has by and large been very, very peaceful over the years, and the kind of attempts they have been making over the years were not very successful. But if you see, India has been very successful in controlling terrorism in northern part of India. Maharashtra and upwards has been largely peaceful for last many years. Even in Jammu and Kashmir, things are improving. But now the target is southern states like Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and I think the groundwork has been done by organizations like PFI, earlier SIMI, and also the the competitive political
Okay.
uh, appeasement of
Hmm.
minorities, and that is actually laying the ground. You saw the mushrooming of madrasas, whether it is Kerala, whether it is Assam. You are seeing the pattern in Assam. You see the pattern in Bengal. All this actually. There is absolutely no control. I have been talking of this, the kind of radicalization being done, the kind of education being imparted in madrasas. And today, the bigger threat is coming from the social media and the internet and the dark web. The kind of
Okay.
threat it poses to the internal security of India. I think we need to have an action plan at the national level and don't
Let
leave
me
to.
ask Ratan Sharda, Mr. Ved talked about this atmosphere of political appeasement or trying to, look the other way, as it were, or go soft on elements who may be using radicalism, Islamic extremism to brainwash young kids. Now, two concerns. One is this whole atmosphere of going easy, and secondly, one distinct thing you're noticing about these terror connections from South India is these young people are extremely educated, extremely smart. Even a Shareeq, even a criminal element like Shareeq, you have to have some level of intelligence and cunning to be able to dupe two people of their Aadhaar cards, impersonate using their Aadhaar cards, to be able to build a pressure cooker bomb inside your house. I mean, you can't say that. So the worrying part is that intelligent, educated young people are taking to the path of radicalism. Unlike, what we used to see 20 or 30 years ago, where one of the things that was put forth is that people who are deprived, who are poor, living below the poverty line, who are disenfranchised, they are the ones who are taking up terrorism. That's not the case that we are seeing from South India.
Zaka, let me be very frank. We were fooling ourselves by saying that Garibi and development and poverty is what leads to terrorism. It may lead to some kind of underworld connect, etc., but not to terrorism. These are ideological driven people, whether it's in Kashmir or in Kerala or even outside. Even Osama bin Laden was a highly educated engineer, if I'm not mistaken. He was a big businessman. You've seen the attack in Africa, in Nigeria, Boko Haram. I don't those are illiterate people. So education has nothing to do with ideological driven radicalization, which Islam does. And we must admit it. When we used to say that when Kerala people are found in Jammu Kashmir, in Syria, we try to deny the fact. So we have to understand this is much deeper, deep-rooted radicalization which began somewhere in 75-80 with petrodollars, which resulted in the radicalization of Kashmir Valley also, and also of other parts of India. And the Kerala coastal belt has been a hotbed of this kind of terrorism, but we closed our eyes. 1989 attack on Advani's program in Coimbatore was led by same PFI type of people. Madani was fated, was asked to be given bail unanimously by Kerala Assembly by all the political parties, including left front and right front. When you appease these kind of people, what do you expect? They will be saved. They will see this impersonation of Hindu identity. For me, is a very serious issue. Let us not call it lone wolf attack. We are trying to minimize the damage again. There cannot be lone wolf attack unless there is a network or radicalization or some technical help. This takes me back to 2611 RSS ki sazish. It takes me back to Saffron terror. It takes me back to various impersonations tried earlier and all of them failed. And you also look at the terror incidents which have decreased post 2014 because of good intelligence. We may be lucky many times, but there is also strong intelligence network which has been able to find sleeper cells.
Okay.
But at the same time, I would request the political parties like BJP and Congress not to get into whataboutery on such a serious issue. This is about politics.
Okay,
This is definitely about politics, and we must come together and must realize that unless we are able to identify this very fundamentals are radical, and we need to, as I think Professor Chalani pointed out, we need to stop this madrasas as some kind of a heaven where we cannot even touch. They need to be reformed or they need to be shut.
Sanket Yanagi, you go back and look at examples from other countries around the world. When the French attacks happened, when the attacks happened on Paris, there was a very, very clear line that was drawn. And whether it was parties to the left or parties to the right, there's no question of any appeasement. When there was, when Samuel Paty, the school teacher, was attacked, everyone across the line, cutting across the political line, they came and said, as united France, as a united polity, as a united country, we need to tackle this problem. Unfortunately, in our country, and particularly we're seeing this in South India, some political parties are either too afraid because they think it will upset their vote bank, or they are happy to appease, as the BJP is alleging, because you will reap the rewards in elections that are 6 months from now.
So since on the day one, the stand of the Congress has been very clear and loud, saying that terrorism is an act against humanity and nobody can accept it. When this being the case, anyone who is a perpetrator, who is supporting such elements, should be booked under the stringent provisions of law, irrespective of political affiliation, irrespective of religion, irrespective of the boundaries of the state or the country. And it is an offense against humanity, and it is not pardonable at all. That is very clear. And insofar as this incident is concerned, and also in other incidents, we have been suggesting the government, look, install a proper and educated and experienced person as a home minister who would have an administration control, who would have an administrative experience, so that such things could be managed very well. And it is not that we are against the government in this aspect. We are failing to understand why the government is still not understanding this, that the importance of the Home Ministry and importance of the administration by the Home Ministry. And we are with the government insofar as investigation. We are with the investigating agencies to support from all the corners wherever it is necessary. And we always need to strengthen the investigation agency, and we would do that irrespective of or political differences with the ruling party or otherwise.
Okay.
And insofar
Ratan
as this
Sharda
offense
wants to
is
come in,
concerned,
and then Ashok Gowda after that. Ratan Sharda and then Ashok Gowda. Yeah, Ratan Sharda, quickly.
See, I didn't want to get into whataboutery, but it's very thick of Congress spokesperson talking about, criticizing every kind of terrorism. He talked of Home Minister's poor education. I think this is very stupid kind of argument, very low-level argument. P. Chidambaram was highly educated. Shivraj Patil was highly educated. We as Sushil Kumar Shinde, we had the highest number of terror attacks. And what did they do? They created saffron terror. They created bogey of saffron terror. They tried to wish away. They even let Pakistan off the hook in the name of Hindu terror. So please don't talk about that. As far as this kind of attacks are concerned, remember, they come with the support for the terrorists when they are picked up by the courts. They go to court. They appeal to the courts. They have most highly paid lawyers, including Congress lawyers, to support them. Why do they do that?
No, but Ratanji, no, and I'll ask Ashok Gowda also this. In this case, this man, Mohammad Shareeq, was wanted in 3 cases. In 2020, he was arrested, then he was set out on bail. As recently as July, August of 2022, he was wanted under UAPA. 2 of his associates, he carried out what is called a trial blast on the banks of the Tungabhadra in his native district of Shimoga. 2 of his associates got arrested. They also got charged with UAPA. I want to know, Ashok Gowda, please respond. How is it that a man under UAPA was not being monitored by the agencies? This is surely a slip-up.
See, as we have already understood that he was hiding his identity and he knew how to escape. And who were behind this? And then definitely, see, what has he created? All the 3 people who were except the Congress person, they have clearly said the madrasas should be monitored. The same, when we wanted to go and visit the schools and say that all the madrasas, and Congress is the party, Arabic schools and the madrasas, when central government has clearly stated that what is the monitoring system for madrasas. In Karnataka, we don't have madrasa board. So one Jamaat is giving them the certificates. So we said that nothing doing, education is made compulsory according to 2009 RTE Act. So we need to monitor it according to the rules set by Congress government, then the Congress government, and as well as now the BJP government in the center as well in the state. So we have clearly said that madrasas should be visited. Same Congress party said that no, don't visit madrasas. It is their right. It is their own properties. So you don't have, government does not have any control. See, the point is Congress appeasement politics, whatever said and done by the Congress spokespersons like Saket Yenigi or anybody, the leaders like Sidramaya and the certain leaders like Tanveer Said or Zamir Ahmad are the people who are creating this terror elements in this country, and they are the people. We just heard what happened in Kerala.
I want to ask Professor Chelani again. There are two aspects that stand out. Mr. Gowda, one second. Let me ask Professor Chelani. This man, Mohammad Shareeq, was also in touch reportedly with Mubin, who carried out the Coimbatore blast, which happened a few weeks back. And Mubin was already under the radar of the agencies because Mubin was in touch with one of the Sri Lankan Easter Sunday bombers. Right, so Shareeq was in touch with Mubin. Again, why was he not under the radar of the agencies? And two, he was also in touch with Abdul Mateen Taha, who is supposed to be the leader of Hind ISIS, which is a banned organization, and he's operating out of Dubai. So if he was in contact with these two most wanted terror elements, how come he was not under the surveillance radar of our agencies? Do you reckon that this is a miss?
Zaga, you raise very pertinent questions, but it's not just the failure to monitor radical individuals, it's the failure to monitor groups and the inflow of petrodollars. The inflow of petrodollars is creating a pernicious cycle in India. That money aids madrasas, the madrasas churn out doctrinated youths, and they in turn look for ways to carry out attacks. But even looking at the larger picture, the groups, when the Sri Lankan Easter Sunday bombings happened, the Sri Lankan authorities discovered that the main group behind the Easter Sunday bombings was an ideological offspring of a Tamil Nadu-based Islamist organization which had been generously receiving Saudi money. We failed to monitor that large group. Similarly, we have failed to monitor the growing radical outfits in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and coastal Karnataka, where Mangaluru is located. And so we are paying the price for those failures.
Okay.
Monitoring individuals is far more difficult. If you can monitor the groups that are indoctrinating youths, you have a better chance of controlling, of stemming violent jihadism.
Okay.
Because targeting individuals is always risky.
Harder, yeah.
Because you're going to get into issues of civil rights and
personal freedoms, etc.
And individuals can go to courts and seek protection.
Yeah.
But you can monitor groups. You can control the inflow of petrodollars.
Yeah. Let me get Ved Saab for the final word on this. Ved Saab, about this petrodollars business. You do know that a lot of Indians work in many of these Gulf countries legitimately and legitimately send money back home, remittances back home. How does one regulate and how does one sift out what is the legitimate hardworking money that's been sent back and what is being sent back to fund madrasas and characters who are teaching kids all kinds of things? How does one separate that?
Zaka, you saw when action against PFI was taken and the pattern of funding of PFI was investigated by the investigating agencies. And the fact remains that during the investigation, it came out that PFI had got about more than 30,000 people from Kerala and other southern states employed in Gulf and in other Saudi Arabia and those countries, Dubai and all, they were remitting their money. Let's say $100 if an individual sends home, that that $100 is given to that individual by affiliate of PFI there. That money comes in his account, in his family. He is told that he can keep 80 rupees, $80, and 10 or $20, whatever is left, goes as a zakat to to fund the activities, terror activities, or finance radicalization part of it.
Okay.
Now, how do any agency intercept this legitimate
kind of
money? It is so complicated, so difficult. And
all right, Mehtab, I'm really short of time, but thank you very much. I want to leave this thought with our viewers. I think this is a very important issue that's been flagged in the context of this Mangalore blast. And like I keep saying, sheer luck, sheer providence that this attack did not blow up into something far bigger. It could have, but luckily it exploded inside the auto. Hopefully this will serve lessons for anything, God forbid, the next Mangalore or the next Shareeq from coming up. I'm going to take a quick break. We're moving on here on the program. Right on the other side of this break, the latest twist to the Massagegate episode, which has rocked the Aam Aadmi Party. The BJP is now claiming the man who was giving AAP Minister Satinder Jain, who's in Tihar jail, the massage on his leg, was actually a rape accused. Details on the other side. Administration within